Minho had the kind of morning that most engineering students at Centaur Station knew very well. He woke up late. His alarm did not go off. His coffee maker broke 3 days ago, and he still had not fixed it. Now he stood in the station cafeteria with a cup of what someone else might call hot water with brown color. It was supposed to be coffee. It tasted like regret and poor choices. The corridor was busy as always. Centaur Station sat in orbit around Saturn, and it held students and workers from more than 200 different species. The morning rush was always a strange sight. Blue creatures with too many arms moved past tall, thin beings made of light. Small, round robots beeped and rolled between all of them. Everyone was going somewhere important, or at least they believed they were. Minho did not feel important. He was just trying to get to thermodynamics class. It was his most boring class. Professor Kim talked very slowly. He explained things 3 times. Sometimes Minho fell asleep. This was his Tuesday routine. Wake up late, drink bad coffee, go to class, try not to sleep, go back to sleep. He walked through the main student hub. The walls were made of clean metal. Everything on the station was clean metal. Everything was shiny. Everything was organized. The station had many rules about cleanliness. Species from different worlds needed to stay safe from each other's bacteria and strange air. A Vexthian student walked past him. Vexthians looked like big insects. They had many eyes and they made clicking sounds when they talked. The student did not even look at Minho. Aliens rarely looked at humans. There were not many humans on the station. Minho was one of only 7 or 8 human students. Sometimes he felt invisible. Today, he was glad to be invisible. He just wanted to go to class without talking to anyone. The student hub had many shops. There were places to eat different types of food. Each food was made for a different species. Nothing at Centaur Station was made for just one type of being. There were food shops for creatures that needed frozen temperatures. There were restaurants for beings that survived on electricity. There were gardens where creatures that were actually plants could stand and enjoy real sunshine that came through big windows. Minho bought a real coffee this time. The shop worker was a silicate, a being made of crystal and minerals. The silicate did not speak. It simply moved very slowly and handed Minho the cup. The coffee was much better. Minho felt a little less dead inside. He walked toward the elevator that would take him to the engineering building. The hallway was getting more crowded. Classes were starting soon. Students moved faster now. Some ran, some flew. One creature that looked like water in a special container rolled very quickly on special wheels. The clock on the wall showed it was 7:52 in the morning. His class started at 8:00. He had 8 minutes. The elevator was usually fast, but sometimes it stopped at every floor. Today, Minho hoped it would just go straight down. He stepped into the elevator with 12 other beings. A tall Aryan creature that was made of gas floated near the ceiling. A small robot beeped and moved into the corner. 2 students who looked like they were made of metal stood without moving. Minho stood in the middle and tried not to make eye contact with anyone. The elevator began to move. It went down slowly. Then it went down a little faster. Minho watched the floor numbers change. Floor 24, floor 23, floor 22. The creature made of gas took up too much space. A small round creature that might have been a ball with eyes moved toward the wall. Minho thought about his thermodynamics homework. He had not finished it. He would probably fail this class. That was fine. He was only taking it because the university said he had to take it. He did not care about thermodynamics. He cared about going home to Korea someday. He cared about eating real food. He cared about seeing real clouds, not station-made clouds. He cared about many things. Thermodynamics was not one of them. The elevator stopped at floor 15. The doors opened. A group of students entered. They were all from the same species. They looked like they were made of smooth plastic. They all looked exactly the same. They all wore the same clothes. They all beeped in the same exact way. Minho wondered if they were friends or if they were just copies of each other. He did not ask. You never asked those questions on Centaur Station. The elevator started moving again. Floor 14, floor 13, floor 12. Minho was getting closer to the engineering building. He could see the indicator showing him which floor was coming next. Then everything changed. The elevator stopped suddenly. Not gently, not slowly, just stopped. The lights flickered. All the lights in the elevator began to flash red. And then, before Minho could understand what was happening, an alarm began to sound. Not a small alarm, not a quiet alarm. A massive, terrible alarm that was louder than anything Minho had ever heard. It was not just in the elevator, it came from everywhere. From the walls, from the ceiling, from the floor beneath his feet. The sound was so loud it hurt his ears. The lights in the elevator turned completely red. The color was so bright that Minho had to close his eyes. The alarm kept screaming. It was not a beeping sound like a normal alarm. It was a screaming sound. It was a sound that meant something very, very bad was happening. A voice came from the speakers. It was not a normal voice. It was a robot voice. It came from everywhere at once. The voice was calm, but serious. The voice said, "Emergency alert. Ultimate predator detected. All life forms report to secure zones immediately." The elevator became very quiet. Everyone inside it stopped moving. The plastic-looking creatures stopped beeping. The gas creature stopped floating. The robot stopped rolling. Everyone looked at each other. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Minho did not understand. He was just going to class. He was just trying to drink his coffee and get to thermodynamics. Why was there a predator? What was a predator doing on a research station? Predators were dangerous. Predators attacked things. Predators were not supposed to be on Centaur Station. The alarm continued to scream. The lights continued to flash red. The voice continued to speak. "Ultimate predator detected. Threat level critical. All humans report to observation chambers for questioning." All humans. Minho was human. He was the only human in the elevator. Every alien in the elevator turned to look at him. Their eyes were on him now. Their strange eyes with their strange colors all looked at him. Minho stood very still. He held his coffee cup. He did not know what to do. He was just a student. He was just going to class. He did not know anything about any predator. The elevator doors began to open. Outside the elevator, Minho could see the hallway. The hallway was now full of security people. They wore suits that looked like armor. They held weapons that looked very dangerous. They pointed these weapons at the elevator. They were looking for something. They were looking very carefully at everyone who came out of the elevator, and they were looking at Minho with special attention. Minho stepped out of the elevator slowly. The security people moved toward him. They did not look happy. They looked scared. He had never seen alien security people look scared before. "Stay very still," one of them said. "Do not move. Do not run. An ultimate predator has been detected, and you match the profile. We need to take you for questioning immediately." Minho opened his mouth to speak, but the alarm was too loud. He could not hear his own voice. He could only hear the screaming sound of the alarm, telling everyone on Centaur Station that something very, very dangerous had arrived. And that something, apparently, was him. The observation chamber was cold. It was very cold. Minho sat in a small metal chair and tried not to shake. The walls around him were made of glass. He could see through the glass on one side. On the other side, he could not see anything. This meant that people could see him, but he could not see them. He did not like this feeling. It made him feel like a small animal in a cage. A light shone in his face. It was bright. It was very bright. Minho had to squint his eyes. Someone spoke to him through a speaker. The voice was not friendly. The voice was official and serious. "Your name is Minho," the voice said. It was not a question. It was a statement. Yes, Minho said. His voice was quiet. You are a human from Earth. Yes, I am from South Korea. You are a human. Humans are from Earth. This is correct. Minho did not know what to say. He said nothing. He held his coffee cup. It was cold now. He had forgotten to drink it while they were taking him here. They had moved very fast. The security people had grabbed his arms and pushed him through hallways. Other students had watched. Other students had looked at him like he was dangerous. Tell me, the voice said. Why did you come to Centaur Station? I am a student, Minho said. I came to study engineering. You came to study? You did not come to hunt? Hunt? No. I came to study. I am going to thermodynamics class. I was going to go. Before the alarm. There was a long silence. Minho could not see who was talking to him. The light was too bright. The glass was too dark on the other side. He felt very alone. Minho from South Korea, the voice said. Do you know what an apex predator is? Yes, I think so. A predator is something that hunts. An apex predator is the best at hunting. It is at the top of the food chain. Correct. You understand predators. I study engineering, not biology, Minho said. But you understand predators. I guess. Everyone understands that. The voice paused again. There was silence for a long time. Minho could hear the alarm still screaming outside the observation chamber. The alarm had not stopped. The alarm continued to tell everyone on Centaur Station that something dangerous was here, that something dangerous was him. Minho, the voice said. The station sensors detected a life signature that matches no known species in our database. The sensors say this life form is an apex predator, an ultimate predator. Do you know anything about this predator? No, I do not know anything. I was just going to class. You did not see anything unusual? No, everything was normal. And then the alarm started, and then the security people took me. Another silence. Minho could hear other voices on the other side of the glass. They were whispering. They were arguing. He could not understand what they were saying. The glass was thick. The words were not clear. A new person came into the observation chamber. This person was human. Minho was surprised. This person wore a uniform. This person looked official. This person was probably in charge of the station. Minho, the person said. I am Commander Hae-jun. I run this station. I need to ask you some important questions. Okay, Minho said. Commander Hae-jun sat down across from him. The commander looked tired. The commander looked like he had not slept in a long time. The commander had gray in his hair. The commander was very serious. Tell me everything about your arrival at the station, the commander said. I arrived 2 weeks ago, Minho said. I took the transport from Earth. The transport was normal. There was nothing strange about it. I went to my room. I started classes. Everything was normal. Did you see anything unusual on the transport? No. There were many people. We were in space for weeks. Everyone was bored. Everyone wanted to arrive at the station, but nothing was unusual. Commander Hae-jun stood up and walked around the room. He was thinking about something. His face was not happy. His face was worried. Minho, the commander said, the sensors on this station have detected something they cannot understand. This something is very dangerous. The sensors have called it an ultimate predator. The sensors say this predator is in the station right now. I do not know anything about it, Minho said. I believe you, the commander said. But here is the problem. When we look at the sensor data matches your biology. Your biology is unlike anything in our database. Your biology is very old. Your evolution is very different from all the other species we know. Your body is designed to hunt. Your teeth are designed to tear meat. Your eyes can see very well. Your hands can hold weapons. Your body can run very fast. Your brain can plan and think. Your species is very good at hunting. Minho listened. He did not know what to say. He was just a student. He was not a predator. "I do not want to hurt anyone," Minho said. "I just want to study engineering." "I believe you," the commander said again. "But the sensors do not believe you. The sensors see something that should not be on this station. And the sensors are very worried." At that moment, another alarm sounded. This alarm was different. It was not the same as before. This alarm was a warning alarm. It meant something was moving. Something was moving through the station. Something was coming. Commander Haijun's face became very serious. He touched something on his arm. He spoke to someone. His voice was calm, but Minho could hear fear underneath the calm. "Status report," the commander said into his arm device. "Where is the predator now?" a voice answered. The voice came from the device on his arm. The voice was scared. "The predator is moving through Sector 7. It is moving toward the main hub area. It is moving very fast. It is not stopping. It is moving directly toward the observation chamber." Commander Haijun looked at Minho. His eyes were very wide. "That is not possible," the commander said. "We do not know what is possible," the voice said. "We have never seen anything like this before." More alarms, more lights. The observation chamber began to shake. Something was happening outside. Something big was happening. Minho could feel it. He could feel something moving through the station. He could feel the vibration in the floor. He could feel the fear in the air. Commander Haijun stood up very fast. He moved toward the glass. He pressed his hand against it. He was looking at something on the other side. His face was very pale now. His mouth was open. "It is here," he said very quietly. "It is outside the chamber. It is right here." The observation chamber door began to glow. The door was not supposed to glow. The door was supposed to be strong. The door was supposed to keep bad things out. But something was pressing against the door. Something very strong was pressing against it. And the door was beginning to break. The lights went out. All of them. The observation chamber became completely dark. Minho could not see anything. He could not see Commander Haijun. He could not see the glass. He could not see the door. He could only hear the alarm screaming. And then the emergency lights came on. They were red. The whole chamber was filled with red light. Everything looked like blood. Commander Haijun was speaking into his arm device again. His voice was not calm anymore. His voice was very loud and very scared. "Seal all doors," he was shouting. "Shut down all passages to the science sector. Lock everything. Lock the whole sector down." But even as he was speaking, the door to the observation chamber began to bend. The metal of the door was bending very slowly. It was bending as if something very strong was pushing on it from the other side. The door made a sound like crying. The door was not happy to be bending. Minho stood up from his chair. He did not know what else to do. He was very scared. His heart was beating very fast. He was just supposed to go to thermodynamics class. He was not supposed to be in the middle of a monster attack. "This is not possible," Commander Haijun said. "Nothing can bend that door. That door is made of reinforced metal. That door was designed to keep out dangerous creatures. That door should not bend." But the door was bending. The metal made a sound. It was a loud sound. It was the sound of the door starting to give up. The door was starting to fail. The door was starting to break. Through the chamber walls, Minho could hear fighting. He could hear the sound of weapons. He could hear the sound of security people running. He could hear screams. Not human screams. Alien screams. The screams of creatures that were very scared. A Vexthian creature ran past the chamber window. It was moving very fast. It was the same kind of creature that Minho had seen in the hallway this morning. The creature was very fast, but something made it faster. It turned a corner and disappeared. Then more sounds, weapons sounds, loud sounds, the sound of energy blasts, the sound of security shields, the sound of many things being destroyed. "All stations report!" Commander Haijun was shouting now. "Report your status! Tell me what is happening!" Different voices came through his arm device. They were all speaking at the same time. They were all saying the same thing. The predator was everywhere. The predator was fast. The predator was strong. The predator could not be stopped. It came out of nowhere, one voice said. My whole team is down, another voice said. We cannot see it. We cannot find it, another voice said. It is tearing through the station, another voice said. The door to the observation chamber bent more. The metal screamed again. There was a crack in the metal now. A small crack, but a crack. The door was starting to fail. Commander Hai-jun pushed Min-ho behind him. The commander was standing between Min-ho and the door. The commander was very brave, but Min-ho could see that the commander was also very scared. Get the other humans, the commander said into his device. Get them to the safe zone. If this is not about this student, then we need to protect all humans, just in case this is a species-specific attack. Min-ho did not like hearing those words. Species-specific attack. That meant the predator was hunting a specific type of creature. That meant the predator was hunting humans. But Min-ho was human, and the door was breaking. The lights in the chamber began to go crazy. They flashed between red and white. They flashed very fast. The alarm was screaming even louder now. The alarm sounded like the world was ending. In the other parts of the station, other things were happening. In the dining area, creatures were running. Some creatures were trying to leave. Some creatures were trying to hide. Some creatures were trying to help other creatures. It was complete chaos. Ara, a human who was studying geology, was in the library when the alarm started. She was reading about rocks. Rocks were her favorite thing. Rocks were safe. Rocks did not move. Rocks did not have feelings. But rocks could not help her now. She heard the screams. She heard the weapons fire. She heard the sound of security running past. She heard the alarm. She heard everything. Ara got up from her seat. She did not know what to do. The library had windows. Through the windows, she could see the hallways. She could see security people running. She could see creatures running. She could see something else, too. She could see something that she could not see clearly. It was like looking at something that was not quite there. It was like looking at air. But the air was moving in a strange way. The air was shaped like something big, something that was hunting. In another part of the station, Ji-woo was in a laboratory. Ji-woo was a Vex-Thean student. She was studying biology. She was very smart. She had 4 eyes, and all 4 of them could see the danger. When the alarms started, Ji-woo's whole body began to vibrate. Vex-Theans vibrated when they were scared. It was like their bodies shaking, but inside and outside at the same time. It was very uncomfortable. Ji-woo ran to the security station. She wanted to know what was happening. She wanted to understand the danger. The security officer at the station was not looking at her. The security officer was looking at his screens. His face was very white. His eyes were very big. "What is it?" Ji-woo asked. "What is attacking the station?" "We do not know," the security officer said. "The sensors say it is an apex predator. But the sensors cannot see it. The sensors cannot lock onto it. The sensors cannot even really describe it. It is like nothing we have ever seen." "Where is it?" Ji-woo asked. "It is everywhere," the security officer said. "It is in Sector 7. It is moving toward Sector 8. It is moving very fast. It is very strong. Every security team we have sent has failed. Everyone is dead. Everyone is dead." Those words echoed in Ji-woo's mind. Everyone is dead. Everyone they had sent to stop the predator was now dead. The predator was not just strong. The predator was unstoppable. Back in the observation chamber, the door was about to fail completely. The crack in the door was getting bigger. The metal was still screaming. The lights were still flashing. Commander Hai-jun put his hand on his weapon. He was ready to fight. He was ready to die trying to protect Min-ho. But Min-ho did not think the commander could win this fight. Min-ho did not think anyone could win this fight. The door was bending more and more. Any second now, the door would break. Any second now, whatever was on the other side would come through. Any second now, the predator would be inside. Minho held his breath. He did not know what was about to happen. He did not know if he was about to die. He was just a student. He was just going to thermodynamics class. But the universe did not care about his plans. The door began to open. Not slowly, not gently. It began to open very fast. The metal fell away. The protection was gone. Whatever had been pressing on the door was finally here. The chamber filled with an unnatural sound. It was like the sound of something that did not belong in the station. It was like the sound of death. And then, in the red light of the emergency lamps, something moved into the observation chamber. Something that looked like a shadow. Something that looked like danger. Something that looked like the end of everything. The shadow moved into the chamber. Commander Haejun raised his weapon. His hands were shaking. He was very scared, but he was trying to be brave. "Do not move!" the commander shouted. "I am warning you! Do not move or I will fire!" But the shadow did not stop. The shadow kept moving. It moved like it owned the station. It moved like nothing could stop it. The lights in the chamber flickered. For 1 second, the shadow became clear. For 1 second, Minho could see what the predator looked like. It was a human. Just a normal human. The human had dark hair. The human wore a university hoodie. The human was holding a coffee cup. The human was not scary at all. "Sorry I am late," the human said. The human had a Korean accent. The human looked tired. "My shuttle broke down. Then I had to find my way through your station. Nobody was very helpful. They all just ran away when they saw me." Commander Haejun did not lower his weapon. His gun was still pointing at the human. His whole body was shaking. "Do not move," the commander said again. But his voice was weaker now. His voice did not sound like a commander anymore. His voice sounded confused. The human looked at the weapon. The human looked at Commander Haejun. The human looked at Minho. "Are you pointing a gun at me?" the human asked. "Why would you do that?" "I am just trying to find the registration office. I need to get my student ID. My name is Kwan. I am a transfer student from Earth." The alarms stopped. All of them. They just stopped. The red lights stopped flashing. The station became quiet. The only sound was the sound of breathing. The only sound was the sound of the alarm in people's minds, telling them something was very wrong. But nothing was wrong anymore. "You are the predator," Commander Haejun said. It was not a question. "I am," Kwan said. He looked at his hands. He looked at his hoodie. He looked at his coffee cup. "I do not think so. I am just a student. I am just trying to get to class." Minho stared at Kwan. Minho did not understand. The predator was just a human. A normal human. A human who looked just like Minho. "The sensor said you were a dangerous apex predator," Commander Haejun said. "Sensors are weird," Kwan said. "My old school sensors always went crazy when I walked by. They called me a biological anomaly once. It was embarrassing. Can I set my coffee cup down? This is making my arm tired." Commander Haejun lowered his weapon very slowly. He did not understand what was happening. Nobody understood. Kwan walked over to a metal table and set his coffee cup down. He did it very carefully. He did not want to spill the coffee. "So," Kwan said, "why was everyone running? Why were all the alarms going? Was something dangerous happening?" Minho could not believe what he was hearing. Kwan was the predator. Kwan had broken through the door. Kwan had done all of this. But Kwan was talking like nothing had happened. Kwan was talking like he did not know about the danger. "You broke through a reinforced metal door," Commander Haejun said slowly. "You killed security people. You caused panic throughout the station. You are a very dangerous creature." "I broke through a door," Kwan said. He looked back at the broken door. "I did not mean to break it. I just pushed it. I thought it would open. Everything on your station is very confusing. The doors are not clear. I did not know I was not supposed to push them." You are not supposed to be able to push them, Commander Haijun said. That door can hold back creatures that weigh several tons. That door can keep out creatures with extreme strength. You should not be able to touch that door. Oh, Quan said. I am sorry. I did not know. On Earth, doors are easier to open. I guess I am stronger than I thought. My muscles are just normal for humans, but I guess humans are stronger than you expected. Commander Haijun looked at Minho. Minho looked at Commander Haijun. They did not know what to say. The sensors detected you, Commander Haijun said. The sensors said you were an unknown species. The sensors said you were an ultimate predator. The sensors said you were the most dangerous thing that could exist. That is weird, Quan said. He sat down in a chair. He sat down very carefully, like he was worried about breaking it. I am not very dangerous. I am just a student. I like studying. I like coffee. I like walking around. I do not like fighting. Fighting is bad. I would not want to fight anyone. But even as Quan was saying this, a message came through Commander Haijun's arm device. The message was from the hospital. The message said that many security people were injured. The message said that some security people were dead. The message said that Quan had hurt many creatures without even trying. You said you did not like fighting, Commander Haijun said. I do not, Quan said. But when those security people started shooting at me, I got scared, so I ran. When I ran, I think I pushed some people. I did not mean to hurt them. I was just trying to get away. You ran so fast that you broke bones, Commander Haijun said. Oh no, Quan said. He looked very sad. I am sorry. I did not know. Human physics are different from other creatures, I guess. We run very fast. We are very strong. We can see very well in the dark. We are very dangerous without even trying to be dangerous. Minho was starting to understand. The sensors were not wrong. Quan was dangerous. But Quan was not dangerous because Quan was trying to be dangerous. Quan was dangerous because that is what humans were. Humans were made to hunt. Humans had teeth that could bite. Humans had hands that could hold weapons. Humans had eyes that could see far away. Humans had legs that could run very fast. Humans had strength that seemed impossible to alien creatures. Humans were not the most dangerous thing in the galaxy because humans chose to be dangerous. Humans were dangerous because humans were designed to be dangerous by millions of years of evolution on Earth. Can I ask a question? Quan said. Yes, Commander Haijun said. Why are there so many alarms on this station? The alarms made me very scared. I did not know what was happening. I just wanted to find the student registration office. I have been walking around for hours. Commander Haijun's arm device began to sound. Multiple messages came through, all from different parts of the station, all saying the same thing. Security wanted to know what was happening. Security wanted to know if they should attack. Security wanted to know if the station was safe. Commander Haijun sat down. He looked very tired. He looked like the whole world had just changed. The station is safe, he said into his device. The predator is not a predator. It is a student. It is a human student. Stand down all weapons. Stand down all security. There is no danger. There is no attack. There is just a human who wanted to come to class. There was a very long silence on the other end of the device. Then one voice spoke. Did you just say, a human? Yes, Commander Haijun said. But the sensors said, I do not care what the sensors said, Commander Haijun said. The sensors were wrong. The sensors do not understand humans. The sensors do not understand that something can be very dangerous without trying to be dangerous. Quan was looking at Minho. Quan was smiling. You are human too, Quan said. I thought I was the only human on this station. There is another human. That is very nice. Can we be friends? I do not know anyone here. Minho could not speak. He could only nod. Outside the observation chamber, throughout the entire Centaur station, creatures of 200 different species were realizing the same thing. The alarm had been for nothing. The danger had been a person who just wanted to go to class. The sensors had been wrong. Everything was different now. The analysis center was very busy. Scientists from every species on Centaur Station were there. They were all looking at the same data. They were all looking at Quan's biology. They were all asking the same questions. How did a single human cause so much damage without trying? How did a human break through reinforced doors? How did a human move so fast that security could not even see him clearly? How could something so ordinary be so deadly? Hyune was a human scientist. She worked in the quantum physics department. She looked at the data on the screens. She looked at Quan's genetic information. She looked at the measurements of his strength. She looked at how fast he could move. "I understand now," she said. She said this very slowly. She said this like she was making a very important discovery. The sensors were right, but the sensors were wrong about why he is dangerous. All the other scientists looked at her. "Explain," said the Vexthian director of the analysis center. "Humans are not dangerous because we are trying to be dangerous," Hyune said. "Humans are dangerous because we evolved on Earth. Earth is a very difficult planet. Earth has very dangerous predators. Earth has very bad weather. Earth has diseases. Earth has everything that is bad. To survive on Earth, humans had to become very strong. Humans had to become very smart. Humans had to become very good at fighting and hunting." She paused. She looked at the data again. "Humans evolved over millions of years to be predators," she continued. "Our teeth are made to bite. Our eyes can see colors that you cannot see. Our ears can hear sounds that are very quiet. Our hands can hold things and use weapons. Our bodies can run very fast. Our brains can think about complicated things very quickly. We are designed by nature to be the best hunters on our planet. So humans are apex predators," the Vexthian director said. "Yes," Hyune said, "but more than that. Humans are something that your species has never seen before. We are not just apex predators. We are flexible predators. We can eat almost anything. We can survive almost anywhere. We can adapt to almost any condition. A human can live in heat. A human can live in cold. A human can live in water. A human can live on mountains. We are not specialized. We are generalists. We are the most adaptable creatures in our galaxy." Another scientist spoke. It was Teo, a silicate researcher. Silicates were made of minerals and crystal. They thought slowly, but they thought very carefully. "This explains why the sensors were confused," Teo said in a slow voice. "The sensors have a database of all known species. Each species has a specific place in the food chain. Each species has a specific strength. Each species has a specific way of hunting. But humans do not fit into this database. Humans are like every apex predator at the same time, but not exactly like any of them, so the sensors could not understand what they were detecting. The sensors made an error. The sensors called you an ultimate predator, which is true, but not in the way that other creatures understand ultimate predators." Commander Hai-jun was listening to all of this. He was in the analysis center with Hyune and Taiho and all the other scientists. He was beginning to understand the problem. The problem was not that Quan was dangerous. The problem was that humans were so different from every other species that Centaur Station was not ready for them. "What do we do?" the commander asked. "We have to change the database," Hyune said. "We have to add human biology to the database. We have to tell every station in the galaxy about humans. We have to teach every species that humans are not enemies. Humans are just very different. Humans are adapted for survival in a very dangerous way." But this was not true, and Hyune knew it. Humans were not enemies, yes, but humans were also very dangerous. Quan had broken reinforced doors. Quan had hurt security people. Quan had done all of this without even trying. What would happen if Quan was trying? What would happen if Quan wanted to hurt someone? What would happen if there were many humans on the station? These were questions that nobody wanted to ask. In the student dormitory, Minho and Quan were sitting together in Minho's room. Quan was drinking coffee. Quan really liked coffee. He had drunk 4 cups already. Minho was watching him drink coffee and feeling very strange. "Your station is very strange," Quan said. "Everything is made of metal. Everything is very clean. There are no plants. There is no real food. Everything is very artificial. I do not like it. I want to go home to Earth. Earth has real things. Earth has trees and rain and dirt." "You will get used to it," Minho said. "I also miss Earth. I miss the sky. I miss the clouds. I miss the rain. But you will get used to it." "Why did you come here?" Quan asked. "If you miss Earth so much, why did you come to this station?" "Because Earth is too small," Minho said. "Everyone on Earth wants to leave Earth. There are too many people. There is too much pollution. There is not enough space. So I came here to study. I thought maybe I could build something here. Maybe I could make something good with my engineering degree." Quan nodded. He understood this. He had come for the same reason. "I did not know that I would be called a predator when I arrived," Quan said with a small laugh. "I did not know that my biology would cause all these problems. I thought humans were normal. I thought everyone knew what humans were." "They did not," Minho said. "The database does not have human information. Nobody on this station has ever met a human before you. You are the first human they have seen. So when the sensors detected you, they did not know what to do. They were scared. When they are scared, they call things predators." Outside Minho's window, other students were returning to their normal activities. The alarms had stopped, the danger had passed, but everything was different now. Everything had changed. Scientists were studying Quan's genetic data. Media from many worlds were asking questions. Governments of different species were sending messages to Centaur Station. Everyone wanted to know about humans. Everyone wanted to understand the danger. But Quan was just drinking coffee and talking to Minho about home. "I want to go to thermodynamics class," Quan said. "I am already late for my first day. Professor Kim will be very angry." Minho laughed. He could not believe that after all of this, after all of the danger and the alarms and the fear, Quan just wanted to go to class. "Okay," Minho said. "Let us go to thermodynamics class." They got up from the chairs. They walked toward the door. As they walked, Quan asked another question. "Do you think people will still be scared of me?" Quan asked. "Do you think they will always think I am a predator?" Minho thought about this question. He thought about the sensors going crazy. He thought about the security people running. He thought about the fear on everyone's faces. "Maybe," Minho said, "but I do not think you are a predator. You are just a human, and I am just a human, and we are just going to class." But as they walked through the corridors of Centaur Station, all the creatures they passed moved away from them. All the creatures looked at them with fear. All the creatures treated them like they were dangerous. The message was clear. Humans were not normal. Humans were not welcome. Humans were not like everyone else. Humans were something that nobody on Centaur Station understood. And that made them the most dangerous thing in the galaxy.